I am Lamont at Large. Today I am at the Aurora Cemetery here in Aurora, Texas. I'm here to visit the grave of serial killer Ricky Lee Green. I just want to give a fair warning: if you don't like stories of gore and uncomfortable subject matter, please stay away from this video. There's going to be some uncomfortable adult subject matter being discussed in this video in relation to the grisly crimes that this dude committed, so fair warning. According to the book Blood Rush, which was written by Patricia Springer about Ricky Lee Green, he had a very hellish childhood growing up. He was mentally, physically, and sexually abused by his father, which is quite prevalent in the crimes and in which he committed against his victims. He was tried and convicted of 4 murders, but was suspected in at least 8 of them. The FBI compared Ricky Lee Green to serial killer Ted Bundy, and in doing so even claimed that he was more deadly than him. So let's talk about the victims of Ricky. So one of his victims was a 16-year-old man by the name of Jeffrey Davis that he picked up inside of Fort Worth. Jeffrey Davis was found in a wetlands area of Fort Worth with his head almost decapitated and his genitals were mutilated. His second victim was a woman by the name of Betty Monroe. He picked her up hitchhiking here in Fort Worth. And depending on what story you want to believe, whether she went willingly or not, he had brought her home to have a 3-way with his wife at the time. And after they were done, he took a knife and stabbed her to death in the bathroom. And while she was still alive on the ground bleeding to death, he proceeded to grab a hammer, take it, and bash her about the face and head until she stopped moving. And then afterwards, according to the testimony during the court case, they had sex right next to her body in a pool of that poor woman's blood. He also had 2 more victims. Stephen Pfefferman, who he had met in Fort Worth, also killing him and castrating him. And on the record, his last victim was a woman by the name of Sandra Bailey, which would, in theory, be his last. He was eventually arrested and tried for the murder of Stephen Pfefferman. He was tried and convicted in 1990 of his death and sentenced to die by lethal injection at the Huntsville prison. That's where all the death row inmates go in Texas. Let's talk a little bit about his wife. Now, according to Ricky's testimony, his wife helped him commit at least 2 of the murders that he was tried for. And when she took the stand in her own defense, she said that she was basically the victim of an abusive husband. She was scared to death of him, that he would threaten to kill her if he didn't help her commit these crimes. This woman was actually interviewed on Oprah Winfrey after everything was said and done for her testimony in putting away Ricky Lee Green and sending him to death row. She was only given 10 years probation. On October 8th of 1997, Ricky Lee Green was executed at the Huntsville unit at the Huntsville prison in Texas via lethal injection. Now we're going to go show his grave really quick. And here he is. This is the grave of Ricky Lee Green, December 27th, 1960 to October 8th, 1997. Tony Allen Green to his right died when he was only 6 years old. and his parents are to their left. Jesse Lou William J. Green. If the stories spoken are true, who knows what horrors this little boy encountered living in the Green household. Some say when you come to this grave at night that you experience some paranormal activity, but you have to come at night. That I don't know. Would I come back out here at night? I can either say yes or no. But nevertheless, a very cruel, sadistic, and twisted human being lies before me. And his judgment was death, and he has served it. The good and the bad. It's yin and yang to this world. And regardless of how you lived your life, whichever way you chose to do so, at the end of the day, we all come to the same place. And also at the end of that very same day, nevertheless, we all have a story to tell. I am Lamont at Large. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it.